All right, on this episode of One on One, we have the parish president of Terrebonne Parish in the house, Mr. Jason Bergeron. We're going to talk about things, a little bit politics, but mostly away from politics, where he grew up, what made him tick, that kind of stuff. It's all coming up next. Don't go away. One on One is brought to you by the law office of Waits and Downer.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
With Lenore being in that situation now where she can move on a state level and she'll be appointed to the national committee, would you endorse Lenore and sort of help unite that party into one for Terrebonne?
Yeah, look, it's no different than when I won my election. You know, I knew the residents made a decision. If I wouldn't have won, it'd have been a situation where I just want what's best for Terrebonne Parish and best for our state and best for our country. And so she's in that position. No different than, you know, who's president. We have one president. We have her in her position. We have a governor in that position. Whether we agree or disagree, one of the things I think we could definitely do better in our parish, in our state, in our country, is getting behind and supporting the people that are doing the jobs they're doing. And so, you know, if Lenore's going to be the one that helps get the president we need elected, I'm going to get behind her, get behind our local RPEC to make sure that at the end of the day, you know, we're doing what's best for the Republican Party. We're doing what's best for Terrebonne Parish. Because at the end of the day, that's what's important.
Is it too much to ask that maybe we could get Donald Trump in Terrebonne?
I would think that'd be great. You know, I think, again, what he's done for the economy and, you know, when you talk about Donald Trump, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, is that people get mad when he tweets and does everything else. But that's also the thing that makes Donald Trump Donald Trump. And so if he didn't do that stuff, he might not have been president.
Maybe not do it as much.
But he still,
yeah.
When he tweets something.
It is what it is.
He gets more followers, not less, right? Yeah. When you look at him, his passion, and you look at Lenore, her passion, you look at the people that like the old seal, the seal that we have, not the old seal, but the seal we have, right? Yeah. Their passion, right? So, it's kind of looking at things differently and putting yourself in somebody else's shoes to understand that Lenore is passionate for the things that she's doing because she wants what's best for the state or the parish or for the country. Same thing with RPEC and all, to understand that they all have their passion. And that's how I believe that I look at things differently, because I know that they have their passion. We may not all agree on the way we're going to get something done, but the fact that we're all rowing together for a common goal, working together for a common goal is the bigger picture is what's more important.
I've seen every parish president, for lack of a better word, out of respect, one up the one before him, because that's life. Because my dad wanted my life to be better. So he gave me opportunities. So every parish president has given every parish president opportunities. I think your situation is a little different because Gordy focused a lot on pumps and water control structures. He did the water parks and some quality of life thing. You're coming in, and sure, you're going to have to pay for those, maintain them, keep them going, probably add a couple here and there. But your focus and your vision is something else. So for the first time in my life, I see a situation where a parish president could give the former parish president a legacy while the former parish president makes sure that you get your legacy. This could be a golden dream when we look forward. I haven't seen that in the past. We might be sitting on a great opportunity.
Again, I believe God put me here for a reason. And I believe, my firm believes in everything happens for a reason. Again, I can't say enough that it's not about me. It's about, you know, if the parish is ranked 40th in something, I want us to be 39. I want us to be 36. At some point, I want us to be number one, right? I'm very competitive. That's one thing that, for whatever reason, as competitive as I am, I want us to be the best. And I guarantee you, from the time I get up in the morning till the time I lay my head down at night, I feel like I'm doing every decision to say, What can we do to move us up in our rankings? What can we do to make things less of an issue for residents? What can we do to set up employees to be more efficient and be able to do their jobs at a level they feel like they can be successful? And so that's all I want, man.
Is that competitive spirit misunderstood sometimes?
I guess it could be. You know, it's one of those situations that confidence could be considered, you know, maybe conceited sometimes. But I just believe in myself, and I believe in myself through the powers and abilities that God has given me. And so I pray to him every day just to make me the best person, to help me make the best decisions, to help make sure that that I'm putting our residents first and then parish employees first and the council members first, putting my family first, putting God first above all. And that's how I manage and work on a daily basis. I mean, it's that simple.
Rolling stones gather no moss, right?
That's right. That's right. It won't be because of lack of trying, for sure. Again, success is built through failure, and that's something I've learned through life. Is that everything's not going to go maybe as planned, or you could always say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I try to do as much as we can, but also believe in the 70% rule that sometimes I'll make a decision with 70% of information, because if you wait till you get 100% information, it's too late to make that decision. And so just taking the successes that I've had in life, through businesses, through organizations, through relationships, and being able to apply that, and then also show other people how they can do the same thing, and kind of come back to that, what have you done, what are you doing, and what's holding you up, then come back and say, well, what do you think we should do to fix it?
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
I watched parish presidents in Terrebonne and Lafourche and St. Mary, and I've watched younger parish presidents react real quick because they got erroneous information. I've seen this so many times, but I've watched them later in their career sit on information till they get to vet it a little more. And I guess you're in a position where everybody's probably offering you information every day. They probably come in, let me tell you what I heard. Let's be honest. So I know we all want to be what was her name, Miss Kravitz? Oh, and I forget, Bewitched or whatever it was, and she's getting all the information and she absorbs it and runs with it quick. But you gotta absorb it and try to see what a source is. And is that a learning process, or is that something you're pretty good at?
It's as I work this job every day. It's that, how much is it organization versus how much is politics? Thinking it was probably more of a 90 organization, 10% politics, and learning that it's more 50-50. Yeah. Unintended consequences and everything that goes with it. I ran as not being a political guy. I'm a guy to get stuff done, right? But I got to tell you, like, going into this, sitting down with employees, so one of the things I've worked on these first 90 days is change the way we manage people. And that's what I've been able to do successfully in any organization, is to set people up for success so that we can then hold them accountable, make everything measurable. You eliminate the should know, should do, and everything. And so working real hard to get that stuff implemented, and some initiatives in each department of things that we want to do as it relates to efficiency and as it relates to organization, and just making everything trackable and measurable, right? Knowing that this task wasn't or was achieved, and it was achieved by the date it should have been, right? So from the policy, procedure, structure guy that I am, before I even did anything with tech, it's about having that conversation. But then it's how things get heard, or how things, you say something, but then somebody maybe hears something different. Yeah. Or you say, let's look at doing something along this area and this side over here. The political side of it, is something that you work hard every day. To me, that's a conversation of saying, well, do I hold this now? Do I release that now? Or do I push forward this? Do I get more people in the room? Do I get less people in the room? We're going to do some things. We're going to make some decisions. And sometimes the decisions might not be the right one, and we're going to turn around and do something differently. But a lot of it's driving on our employees and our directors, and I told all of them, you bring me a solution to the problem, 9 times out of 10, we're going to go with that. And there's going to be that 10th time that we don't. We're going to talk about why. And having the buy-in and having them understand. And it goes back to being that servant leader. And so when you look at what we did with renaming quality of life, I knew that when people said recreation, people thought children. When people said TPR, TPR had this black eye. I was a TPR coach. I've been involved in TPR since I was a kid, and it's really provided me some opportunities. But again, going back to that, not that people did things bad, but there's an opportunity to do some things differently. And so through renaming that quality of life, we then took the Main Street area, we took the marina, we took the Civic Center, the Sportsplex, and we put all that into that same quality of life conversation. And through that quality of life conversation, just when you say quality of life instead of recreation, people look at it as more opportunities. And so when I look at making that change, that's something that, as I understand it, we're the first quality of life department in the state. But we've been having a quality of life issue in Terrebonne Parish for a period of time now that people would probably confuse with recreation. But recreation to me, baseball, football, basketball, it's not kayaking in the bayou. It's not fairs and festivals. It's not parades. So now all that, including the work we're doing with revitalization throughout the parish, now fits into this one bucket that we're having to bring all these things into play.
You play pickleball?
I have played pickleball.
You like it?
I like it.
I've never played.
I like it. Yeah.
I'm sort of the old school guy. Just put me on a tennis court. I want to play tennis.
Right.
But I don't mind trying. But let me ask, what do you do for fun? When you turn the lights off over there on the 7th floor and you're going home, I know you're going home to your family and all that, but do you ever just sit back and drink a beer? Have a little fun?
Yeah, I mean, it is about family. We got with kids, they're about to be out the house, empty nesters, so doing everything we can when they want us to. Of course, kids are cooler than that now. But whether it's my dad and I, we have a car that we work on and as a project car. So doing things like that with him, going to the many great festivals and organization events that are going on a regular basis. Just to get out and just be in the public and see people and see friends and memories, like create memories and experiences. It's definitely a time in life where it's about living the best life you can.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance, call Waits and Downer Law Firm. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
I know you won't say it, you want to admit it, but I'll say it. Matter of fact that you have a son that has some challenges and you take a lot of time to go and travel and get him the best care and all that. And if I have to tell anybody in the audience that comes first, well, then something's wrong. But I admire that in you. You're taking time and you're trying to do your job as parish president, but you have to take care of the duties too.
So when I go back to God's plan, you may not, when I was put into his life and both him and my stepdaughter's lives, you never know what's in store. And that gets me to a better understanding about disabilities and people being, handicapped and everything. But no doubt in my mind that God put me in this family's life. But just as much for me as it was for them, because I learned a lot. And probably not by going through that experience, I don't know if I'd be where I am today. And so I just, it's really led to the other part of my servant leadership was the empathy. and putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, because you don't know what somebody's going through. Right. And what you may not think is a lot could be a very heavy burden to somebody else. And so I've really worked to understand, and I like to tell this little story that, sometimes I might get cut off in traffic accidentally, right? And I look and go, well, and that could be my mom, it could be my sister, it could be my wife that is having a rough day or whatever's going on, or again, with the situation we probably dealt with my son where, just not the best day sometimes. And so, just to take that second and go, man, you don't know what they're dealing with before you just react. I think it's something that we could do better when we talk about being a better nation. Mm-hmm. I think that if we all led with a little more empathy and a little more benefit of the doubt, things like road rage and situations where Karens are chewing people out and everything else. I got some advice that a friend of mine gave me that I live by to this day, that nothing is as good or as bad as we think it is. Mm-hmm. And if you really look at things like that, when something happens, whether it's good or it's bad, it's about that balance. And that's something that I believe as a human, as a parish president, as a parish, working to make sure that we have balance in everything that we do. Be empathetic, be servant, take that second to say, well, man, you don't know what they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Maybe try to get a better understanding of that. Leads us to being a better nation, a better parish every day.
Yeah. A couple of more questions. Are you grounded, or does Angel ground you?
Angel grounds me. I mean, I'm the dreamer. Yeah. I'm very passionate. I'm not afraid to try anything. So she definitely keeps me grounded.
Does she say sometimes, honey, take a deep breath, rethink this?
Well, it's with our relationship, I think we do that for each other. That was interesting during the campaign that sometimes I'd be that person and all, and she's very passionate, very caring, very loving. And as a team, we've been able to do some great things for our parish, and want to continue to do that. And we want to make it a place where, my daughter's moving away, my son's talking about moving away. Mm-hmm. The opportunity for those kids to come back, it's something I've been able to successfully do in my businesses, mm-hmm. is bring people back here that used to live here, that didn't have the opportunity to work here. And I've been able to move, numerous people back and give them an opportunity to come home and do the work they love to do here. It's the same thing I want to do for all the kids that leave and all the families that move away, that know this is one of the best places to live in the world. But sometimes we got a lot of issues going on that stop it from being an easy place to live.
Yeah. And I do appreciate your time. I know you got to go to another function. Last question. If I were able to get Angel in a room and all your family members and get that old South Terrebonne football team in there, and Coach Richard Curlin and Shane and just a lot of it, Robbie, just a lot of people in one room. You weren't allowed in the room. You were in the next room. And I said, give me one word to describe Jason Bergeron. And I made them come up with one. So they had to have a consensus on one word. And they hand me a piece of paper, and you walk in the room, and I'm looking at that sheet. What's the one word you would hope would be on that sheet to describe you?
Passion. That's the word. That's the word that describes me.
I knew you would pick that word. Is it kind of obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, again, I wouldn't be where I am without the passion. Of course, the Lord. I got to give thanks to the Lord, because He's really shaped and molded me and my life to where I am today. And the tool that I've been given is that passion that says, I'm relentless to a fault. I'm confident in making a decision and moving forward with that decision, mm-hmm. And again, sometimes that decision is going to be a mistake or a bad decision. We'll just make another. And that's what's nice about life, is that you can take failures and turn those into success. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's all I want for our parish, is for it to be successful.
And you're right, passion can be both good and bad. I've learned that over the years. But you as the parish president have that button and that power to unite the whole parish. So I look forward to watching you in this realm, and I look forward to all the projects that you have, and I appreciate the time you've given us, and good luck in your ventures.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate this opportunity, and I want to thank the residents, and God bless Terrebonne Parish.
For all of your cases, including those with catastrophic significance,
Call Waits and Downer Law Firm.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
This one-on-one program has been brought to you by the law offices of Waits and Downer.